Let's talk about the suffocating reality of guilt-based parenting. Why do so many parents make their children feel guilty, sometimes without even realizing it? From a young age, you may have heard your parents say things like, "We don't have much money. Earning a living is really hard. I work so hard. Don't you see I'm doing this all for you?" And so little by little, you learn to suppress your own needs. Every time you got the courage to ask them for money or something you wanted, a wave of guilt would rush in. You'd rather give up on things you love than risk being a burden. Even when you start making your own money, that guilt lingers. You hesitate before buying anything nice for yourself. You feel like you don't deserve a good life. They talk about how tough and exhausting life is, making you feel quietly ashamed. Then they say, "Don't worry about things at home. Just focus on yourself." But soon after, they sigh and remind you, "Don't end up like us. If you don't get into a good school, you'll suffer just like we did." You end up trapped in this hot and cold emotional loop, feeling guilty one moment, pressured the next. You start to internalize shame. You feel like you're never good enough. You grow up starved for both money and affection, deeply insecure, and yet still get blamed for being too pampered or spoiled. Home, which should be a safe and warm place, starts to feel like someone else's house. You walk on eggshells. You even cry in secret because you're afraid to be seen feeling anything at all. The scariest part of guilt-based parenting, it keeps you trapped. It takes away your sense of self. You might break down, argue with your parents, yell, but afterward that guilt creeps back in. You question yourself. Was I too harsh? Was I being ungrateful? You even consider apologizing just to quiet the storm inside you. In psychology, this is known as guilt induction or emotional manipulation. When parents constantly highlight their sacrifices, they unconsciously trigger your guilt to gain control over your feelings and behavior. Alfred Adler's psychology introduces the idea of separation of tasks. It means everyone has their own emotional responsibilities and life challenges, and we shouldn't take on what isn't ours. Your parents' stress, regrets, and hardships are their own. They are not yours to fix. Taking on their emotional burdens won't solve anything. It only drains you and pulls you into a cycle of self-doubt and burnout. You begin to lose sight of who you really are. So what can you do to escape this emotional trap? 1. Let go of the need to change your parents. Their personalities, behaviors, and communication styles are shaped by decades of life experience. A few heartfelt talks or quiet compromises won't suddenly shift all that. The more you crave their understanding or approval, the more you'll fall into disappointment and self-doubt. Real freedom starts with acceptance. Accept their limitations. Accept that they may never be the parents you wish they could be. Stop trying to awaken someone who never intended to change. Save your energy for someone who truly needs your care. 2. Set emotional boundaries. Here's something you need to remember. Your parents' emotions, life choices, and regrets are their responsibility, not yours. You are not obligated to carry the weight of their unhappiness. You are not responsible for fixing what they couldn't fix. What you are responsible for is turning your